The last agency I started is now doing over $200 million a year in production. A lot of people getting paid. It's got me thinking, what if I start over and build it again from scratch? So for those that ask, yes, I'm hiring again. Yes, I'm going to help some more people become millionaires. And yes, we're looking for winners that want to work hard and change their family situation. Let's go. All right, what up, y'all? Appreciate you following. I'm going to share something really cool that I got going on my end in my world. So you're going to want to hang out and kind of watch this thing develop. But first, I want to kind of set the table first on what we're doing, why we're doing it. I've been doing this now almost 13 freaking years, which is wild to think about. And, was just on a journey to get out of being broke. And this thing has turned into a freaking machine that I did not foresee. A lot of help from a lot of cool people along the way have come in and out of my life. I've learned a lot from people. I've done my best to help people win in this space. And we have a lot of killers in our agency. I get a ton of credit for things that I certainly started, but it took a lot of other people to make this thing grow to, I don't know, we did, I think 18 million. I actually show it. You should put it on the screen, Reese. We did 18 million. It was something like 17 or 1,800 writers last month, which is insane amount of volume. I don't even know what that is for an average per writer, but it's a lot. We have a lot of people making a shit ton of money. And we have a lot of really big names in the industry that's because of. And I get to learn from a lot of them. Some of them were around here early when I started building this thing and had a vision, and some, quite frankly, I don't even know, and certainly appreciate those people too. But quite frankly, I spent, first handful of years building the foundation of it and teaching people direct and teaching people how to sell and teaching people how to build and just sharing the knowledge that I was given from others that taught me, and just kind of passing it along. And I've enjoyed the journey of helping people make a bunch of money best I can. I've messed it up along the way plenty of times, and I'll continue to probably do so. But it's all in good effort to help people win. I've learned the more I help people make money, I've not lacked for money in a long time. So it always just kind of works out for everybody. And with that said, I was like kind of looking at the agency, and I'm like, dude, a lot happens. But quite frankly, after I built the foundation, then it became like, let me just teach people how to do this thing and how to run their own agencies and how to open offices and how to build teams. And most of the killers, which there were a few, learned from a ton of people. I was just one of them along the way and part of their journey. And, we built something dope, and I spent a lot of time working in depth and teaching people in depth how to do the thing as well, kind of wash, rinse, repeat. That responsibility has certainly faded over the years because we have so many good people in the agency. A lot of the things I'm doing online to just help people in the space has created something that's, I don't know, sort of come together pretty cool, where people are continuing to look for help. And my time responsibility in the other agency isn't anywhere near what it used to be because so many people kind of run their own deal. And it grows, quite frankly, whether or not I touch it at all at this point. And so I've decided, I have a few people that have come to me recently through social and following and just asking for help, and then started helping them. And then they were like, hey, can we get coaching? And I'm like, sure, I'll help you. I'll create something and kind of help you a little bit on the side. And then it turned into, hey, can I just work with you? And I was like, shit, what would it be like to rebuild this sucker and start from scratch and, build a whole new agency? So I got with my team, and we started talking about what that would look like, because a lot of the pieces I don't do anymore, that a lot of other agencies and staff run. And I was like, what if we started from zero and document the whole thing and put it out there on social? I've learned a lot about marketing the last couple of years, and I'm like, nobody's really sharing what it takes to build. And I try to, but I'm like, it's not theory, but it's stuff I've done with other people. And I've just been really blessed to have some young, hungry people come into my world recently. And I'm like, yeah, what if we build it from scratch? So we're gonna kind of build a brand new agency under the current umbrella, and start it from zero. Run our own separate leaderboards. I think we're calling it the Just Win. I don't know, crew. I don't really like agency, but we got a dope logo that someone created. So yeah, so we're gonna put something together. So if you've ever wanted to do something with me, now is going to be a rare time to watch me kind of build from scratch a team of people who are hungry and want to win big. And we're gonna have a fun journey, and we're gonna skip a lot of the lessons that I learned along the way, the mistakes we made, and my goal is to help people do this thing in lightning speed, relative to what I was able to the first time. Still going to take a lot of work. Still going to be a hell of a journey. And I'm gonna choose to work with a core handful of people that are like complete and total effing maniacs about their time and their vision, and looking to be coachable as shit, or easy to work with, quite frankly, and just hungry and willing to go out and do the work and kind of learn the lessons along the way. I only had 3 that I really worked with that were like complete maniacs, and then there were, I don't know, a couple dozen people that wanted to win at a really high level and live differently than most. And we built that into what y'all see today. And along the way, we found a ton more good people. And so I don't need a ton of people. I'm going to kind of work with a select few. So if you think it'd be you, hit me up, send me a DM, whatever, send me a little video. There's going to be a lot of people reach out. If the reality is, if you already work here, there's really nothing I can do. You already work here. So I can't, some people reach out and want all these, hierarchy changes and me to put in a word and get a hookup and move. I'm not messing with any of that kind of stuff. So if you're out there and you want to do something big and you want to build in the space and you're not in the space, or you run a team. I just picked up a dude that ran a big like ADT sales team. Got another dude had a landscaping company, wants to do something big. Another dude that just worked somewhere else and it was an easy transition and it just wasn't working out for him, and he kind of wants to come over here. A couple of those. And some of y'all out there want to do something big, and you already have access to someone, so just ask the right questions to the right person. And those that are like just trying to figure life out and be a life insurance agent, make some money. You can again, if you're already here, please don't reach out. And I don't mean that to sound mean, but it's a lot of work and not possible. But for those that are out there just like on the sidelines doing something else and kind of want to work here and be taught away, I got a dope team that we're putting together that can help you if you're kind of just figuring the thing out. But for me directly, dude, if you follow my stuff, you know who I'm looking for. You know my style, and would love to help you out. But again, you gotta be ready, able, and willing, and already doing the work, and just need some direction and input and tweaks to make things happen. And again, be a team player, dude. I've learned I don't want to work with people who aren't team players at a high level and willing to help out. So I'm gonna have a blast. We're gonna document the shit out of it. We're gonna teach a bunch of people how to make a bunch of money. And again, if you're out there and you think, hell, it'd be dope to work with John, hit me up again. And I don't need a long video. I don't need the story. I don't need to hear about your upline and the complaints and all the crazy stuff some of y'all send me, which is funny to watch. But, let's figure out if it makes sense for me to work with you in any way. And if it does, we'll give you the ability to have a further conversation and kind of go from there. But it's going to be a journey of really teaching people how to get paid, how to sell a lot of insurance. And the only way I know how to do it early is high volume, a lot of activity. If you're trying to build a team, build an agency, which is I prefer to work with those of y'all trying to build something big, it's just going to take even more work and more patience and learning people and learning how to navigate this thing. There's a lot of layers to this game that I've learned. I've messed it up a lot, but I've learned a lot of lessons, and I'm looking to help some people win at a high level, and get y'all to I'm talking to this dude, Giovanni. He's doing, I don't know, 30 grand a week or something like that right now. He's throwing back 30 grand, 40 grand a month, probably something like that. And I'm like, let's see how quick we can get you to 100 grand a month, and on my end, it'll all work out. So again, if you think you want to be part of this team, hit me up, shoot me a DM on Instagram. It's what I check the most. You can certainly leave a comment below. We'll see it. My team watches it as well. And again, there'll be a link below for the Discord that you can join and follow along. I just finished up a team call for the week. We're going to literally let y'all see it, watch it behind the scenes, get a little bit of clip of some of the things coming up, the way I help people win. And I don't know, there's 20 something people on the call, something like that. And so stay tuned, join it. It's an hour call, a little behind the scenes of the team. Enjoy watching it. If you don't join it, we're gonna have a lot of fun. What up, y'all? Y'all hear me good? Yes. Dig it. I dig it. Appreciate y'all getting on. Reese was just over here and he went, dang, that's a lot of note takers. No, okay, we had to approve 12 of them, which is funny. I was nerding out with transcripts this weekend, Giovanni, like I was telling you.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Wow. Oh, dude, we got some shit. I learned so much stuff. I got like 200 trainings I'm about to upload to that thing and make some stuff with. Yeah, it's pretty dope. So anyway, appreciate y'all getting on. I have some stuff I want to cover with you guys for sure. I'm gonna hang tight on the kind of a new communication platform we're gonna use. So I just want to give a chance for a few more people to get on, so I don't have to repeat some of the stuff. So I'm gonna go through a couple of things. Saw a lot of y'all certainly posting sales, or a handful anyway. What I would love is if you are not yet involved in the community and posting numbers, please do. It'll help us know who to help better. If you've brought someone to the table, someone that's in the business because of you, and they don't communicate and they don't share in the group and they're not part of the group, make them realize how important it is and get them as part of the group. And for me, I just want to make sure that it's a place that we're sharing successes and asking questions that are relevant to helping everybody, and keeping it pretty clean that way. I told Brian, if you're on here, I told him yesterday only one weird post per sale, and me and Giovanni were laughing about it yesterday as well. So I have an idea. So I've been watching a couple things, and I want to get you guys. I'm going to give a little bit of thought. One of the things I really want to challenge you guys to do is to as we start understanding the amount of activity it takes to do well. There's also a really important piece to get better at this game that I think a lot of people overlook. Giovanni, it's really funny, like as you get new agents starting, right? How much they want to know everything before they start. Does that make sense? It's pretty common. A lot of us do that. We get stuck, we get in our own head, we have to know everything before we start, and I want to know all this stuff, and then we don't have a lot of activity, right? And then you see someone that's has a little bit of activity and they want to get to the next level. And then you start asking them about details like, I don't know, detailed underwriting stuff. And they don't know like the basics. And you know what I mean? It's like, wait, aren't you the one that wanted to know everything? And you've been in the business 6 months, 9 months, 12 months, and don't know some of the basic stuff. Right. And so what I learned, bro, is getting people to see this thing differently tends to help on both fronts. Right. So as we start to do this, I'm going to give you guys a lot of, and those have been working with me a little bit, a lot of ways to start quickly without overthinking. I think it's a big piece of it. What I think, I was watching some stuff on, I think I've told y'all the only social media thing I really scroll is TikTok because it knows the stuff I like and it's not people's BS and it gives me information. Sometimes it makes me laugh hysterically, which I also like, because not a lot of things just make me cut up. So, but I've somehow gotten on an algorithm of I'm on a few things. One I'm going to talk about is I'm kind of on in a life insurance algorithm, where a lot of young people are trying to post what they do out there selling. So don't let me forget to bring that up, Giovanni, because it's related to something else I want to talk about. And two, I'm on like a lot of sports stuff and comedy stuff. The sports stuff, I was watching things about the draft and Shedeur Sanders and all the chaos. I don't even really pay attention to the draft, and I saw nonstop information about them following the Sanders, and I barely watched the game. But as these athletes try to make it to a professional level, right? These kids, they're trying to get to a new level in life. It's not very dissimilar to what you guys are trying to accomplish in your life. Maybe it's not a sport. Maybe you're not going to the NFL, but you're trying to get to a new level, right? And as they started going through, these teams started going through and deciding who they wanted to work with, and who they wanted to help get to the next level of their career. If you've seen any of the clips from social, they'll sit the kid down and go through like very technical plays, like the technicalities of a defense and the technicalities of a running route and the technicalities of verbiage, right? And one of the things they do along the way is they break down film of other players, right? I think if you watch sports at all, you understand that concept of breaking down film to see what a player does on the field. If they move their hips like this, or they move their head like that, or like when Maddox was at practice last week, my 13-year-old, he at baseball practice, for those that don't know, his coach came up to him after he was pitching and he pitched. If y'all follow my stuff, he pitched phenomenal this weekend in a little tournament thing. And but his coach at practice came up to him this weekend, before the weekend, and says, "Hey, dude, do you know it's really easy to tell what pitch you're about to throw? And really good batters will know when your curveball's coming versus your fastball. And every coach is going to know. But if you want to get better in this game, you sure as shit better start studying and practicing in the mirror to make sure that you don't give away your pitch, right, before you throw it." And so he recorded Maddox and he showed him. And he like double pumps when he's going to throw a fastball. And then he wiggles his hand around in his glove when he's going to throw a changeup. And so it's clear as day if you know what you're looking for. Right. And so they're teaching him to study his own film. And I heard this saying this weekend as I was going through all that stuff. And it really got me thinking how related it is to you guys. Like if someone watched your game film of how you're studying your craft and how well you perform in your craft, you know what I mean? Like what would they see if they were diving in? Like if we really dove into your stuff, like how well are you learning what it is you do? And are you learning from the right people? Yet not letting it interfere with your ability to get on the phone now. You know what I mean? And letting those two worlds collide. And I think, Giovanni, so many people, they use the need for knowledge to be the excuse as to why they don't push more and do more because they feel uneducated. You know what I mean? And what I need you to understand is part of watching film, if you don't perform a lot, it's going to be really hard for you to figure out what it is you're doing incorrectly. Like Maddox just didn't know. He's 13. He doesn't pitch enough. He had no idea he was giving away something so simple. And a lot of you guys try to judge yourselves for where you're at. You know, and I think one of the things you really have to do is go like combine the making mistakes. That's the only way to really be able to fine tune the pieces that are wrong that you can acquire from the training. When you don't have a lot of activity and you're watching the training, it doesn't really mean a lot because you don't feel the feeling when Giovanni's explaining something, getting 17 times this week told to F off. But he wrote, I don't know, what'd you write this week? Was it $7 grand, 11 grand? It was some big number. What'd you write? Grand. 11 grand. You know what I mean? Like everyone wants the 11 grand, but nobody wants the 17 no's. You know what I mean? And so it's like, it's learning how to really go like, am I studying my craft in off hours at night, early in the morning? You know what I mean? Not when I could be making phone calls and prospecting and presenting. And so I just really want you to think about it. Like, you know, where you are in the business, how much are you really hunkering down and trying to learn your craft? You know, and that's one thing I was a big student of the game once I realized how important that was. And I did it with the people that were in my group, like that I could watch and see perform. And then I would go try it at a high level, mess it up a bunch and be like, oh shit, when I did that, this happened. And you can really start to watch the details of the things you're doing out there. So just, I don't know. It always makes it stick different for me. If I heard Brad Lee say it too, if they were doing a documentary on your life and following you around, and I always did it relative to my career, this profession, would you be proud of what it showed if we really documented how much you're trying to get good at this thing you're trying to be successful at? And that's going to be important as we build this thing out. As you've been here for a few months, you should no longer have basic level elementary questions about underwriting and where to get leads and where, you know what I mean? It just says you're not really trying that hard to gain the information, or you're not implementing the information you do have. And that's a big sticking point for a lot of people as well. Questions on that before I go? I'm going to move on to something kind of dope, actually. But any questions or any clarity needed or anything there? No. Cool. We're working on leaderboards. We're going to be putting them together. So I don't even know how we got to this, Giovanni. I'm going to talk about this Discord thing. So I know that as I build this thing out, this agency, which we're going to have a lot of fun with, and it keeps attracting more people that are coming into my world, which will be fun for y'all to compete with. I'm always looking for a way to create culture and share information very easily amongst people and provide a like a home, a platform for sharing information, asking questions, and learning and educating each other. The more I can do it in a platform, quite frankly, the easier it is because I can only talk to so many people in a day, like all of you. And I think we learn really well from each other. So not only you participating in this thing is going to be helpful, but you consuming it as well. And, we have, obviously we do this call. We've talked about doing live dials. We've talked about we're going to start putting together leaderboards. We have a WhatsApp group, which we chat in. And I remember when Giovanni first kind of came around, he said it. He mentioned, this ain't the first time you mentioned it to me. I do remember that, bro. Just in case you were wondering. He goes, yo, you should use this Discord thing. And I was like, I'm open to whatever. And I moved on about my day and didn't really think about it. I didn't really understand it. I didn't even know really what the hell he meant. I kind of knew he was comparing it to WhatsApp, and I'm like, all right, yeah, I'm down for whatever. And quite frankly, just kind of fucking forgot about it, dude. And because I've never used it. Then I don't know what made it trigger, but you in my head, you banged my head against the wall and you were like, hey, dipshit, please use Discord. That's how I felt the message come through anyway. And I appreciate it because what you showed me, I was like, holy shit, it made my brain connect a lot of dots for us to be able to run this machine very smoothly and efficiently. So one, I am intrigued how we got there. Like what made you, I don't even know how we got on the conversation Discord, dude. So I'm just shit curious for myself. It's not part of the training at all. I just think it's funny how we got there.
Well, because I always use it, and then honestly, bro, I fucking hate WhatsApp, and so
it was just for the chat
I
thing?
wanted you to go. Well, I mean, for everything, and then plus when Zach joined it, and other people join it, you don't get to see any of the previous videos we posted.
Oh yeah, that's right.
And I was like, bro, it gets to keep there all day. So when new people join, they can watch the fucking videos and shit too.
Yeah, yeah. So this time I went into his, and my brain is I'm creative in the way that I can think of a lot of things, but I don't know how to put it on paper or draw it or really explain it. I know how to use things as a tool creatively. So I saw this thing and I was like, dude, I start popping off with ideas and he's giving me his ideas. And a lot of it's related to what we do. And so for me, I want easy for everyone, as easy as possible. And so we're gonna move kind of our communication stuff to this Discord. And I'm gonna show it to you guys in a minute. Kind of the way we have it set up. Has anybody used Discord before? Because I feel Giovanni said it was like teaching his grandpa how to open a computer. That's how he felt talking to me. So really nobody. I guess it's a gamer thing. Anyway, it's popular shit, and I'm going to show you guys in a minute. But I just want to shout out Giovanni for recommending it. And then when I came to my team with it, I was like, yo, here's what I want to use it for. We're going to use it for contracting. We're going to use it for onboarding. There's going to be training stuff in there. I'm going to go through the whole thing in a minute. It's going to be like a resource hub for you guys. And I was like, yo, this is sick. Here's my vision. We whiteboarded it out. I gave what I wanted to do to help the team and help you guys grow. And then I was like, I just can't put it all together, dude. My brain hurts. Giovanni said it'll help. And I blinked and Giovanni and Reese built this whole fucking thing out. And then Angelo and Liz in my office kind of tag teamed and helped out a little bit too, but they put this whole fucking thing together in 3 days. And I don't know if you're a nerd or know this stuff, but it was a shitload of work. And I appreciate you guys for helping do this thing because I'm fucking excited about it, about all the stuff we're going to put on it. Let me share this thing real quick. Am I in the right view? Reese, I think I am. Yes. Giovanni, yes. Yep. Cool.
Yeah, you are.
So, again, this is really just going to be just a hub for all of our stuff. I'm looking at it down here, so that's why I'm not looking at you. It's a little, actually, I can see it up here. It's weird to look up there, so I'm gonna look on the laptop I have. It's just gonna be a hub. So when anybody that comes in, as you guys grow out the team, you recruit people, they'll come in here. They'll get an invite here. My team will send it out. We'll automate the shit out of it. It'll come in to show rules. Kind of ran a lot of this by Giovanni, Reese. They kind of were like, hey, here's what we want. It's simple. We don't have to go through it all. Just go through it when you're bored. We're going to send you guys all an invite to this if you're not. I know a couple of you are in here already because we let jump in, but well, I think it's just Giovanni actually. So we're going to send you guys an invite to this. We're going to literally phase out WhatsApp. We're eventually going to get rid of all our school shit and put it in here. We're creating like a multi-tier thing to this sucker, actually, for internal use. My staff is going to use this thing. So anything we got going on in the agency, anything and whatever I got going on. You can see it here in events. So any of the events I got coming up, post. There's another little spot. Some of you nerds know how to click around. There's a calendar thing in here somewhere as well. One of the things where I really want to show you, I'm going to kind of skip this part because I don't think it's super relevant. Any of the YouTube stuff. So if we post any videos to YouTube, it's here. So if you like sharing my shit with your team, they can just get in here and see all the current stuff. It updates them right away. Any of the free shit I give away, the tracker, doing calendar, doing goals, all that stuff's in here. So as your new agents, if you like it and you share it, it's here for you. Info on the course or the book is here, of course. And then this agency section is really for y'all. This is kind of will replace WhatsApp. This section here, just the Just Win chat. So WhatsApp will be here instead. We are obviously going to track numbers. One of the things I want to talk about with numbers, and this is for everybody really, and especially you guys recruiting. I have a vision for this thing that you may or may not see yet. But the power of numbers for me in helping grow an agency and see what people are doing well, what they do poorly. You can see consistency. You can see trends. You can learn a lot. And again, I'm a former accountant and I'm nerdy as shit. And numbers for me tell me a story that your words can't argue with at all. It paints such a clear picture, especially in the long run. I use numbers to help people see a vision in themselves and ability in themselves they don't normally see. So I'm going to do some really cool shit with leaderboards as we start to go through these calls and really highlight numbers and show them the way I've taught the whole rest of the agency how to use them. Now, if you don't give a shit about numbers, all good. If you want me to do this stuff for you guys, the more you submit your stuff, the better I can help you understand your own numbers. We're going to track like income for the people that want it. Hell, me and Giovanni had a 30-minute conversation about income and expenses and how to use it to make more money the other day. Tyler and I have been talking about some stuff like, hey, how do we use it to build? We're talking about opening offices. There's all kinds of things we want to get to for those that want to get there. But even if you're like brand new, just trying to make a buck, tracking numbers, if you haven't read my book yet, tracking numbers literally changed my whole life because it gave me insight into how to win in a game I didn't feel like I was that good at. I don't feel like I was ever amazing at sales. I don't feel like I was ever amazing at recruiting or any of that. But when I saw what I was making per activity, dude, it changed my whole world. And I learned how to teach that way. So the more you guys submit your sales, the more you guys submit your weekly activity, we're going to do like dials and door knocks and presentations and all that shit. And it'll be really simple. It'll take you 30 freaking seconds to post it. And those that do, I'm going to track it and we're going to do some really sick stuff along the way to help not only you understand your numbers, but the team numbers. And for me, this whole build is about helping y'all make a shit ton of money and be profitable. Because if you ain't profitable, what's the point of it, right? And it takes time sometimes, and you have a lot of decisions to make along the way. So my goal will be to like help each person get to whatever level of profitability they want to be in their life. So for me, this part's going to be super important. Again, you can just click the links. You can't even type in here, so they'll always be right there on the top. When you fill it out, it's going to post sales in here. I guess y'all deleted the sample ones. There were some samples in here earlier. But it'll post it automatically. It's super cool, quick too. It's going to keep together a leaderboard in here, which again, shout out Giovanni's like, we had leaderboards, but he's like, you can do here and type something and it pops up automatically. So it'll keep track, I think the top 10 in the week for sales. So if you like competing, dope. And again, we're going to build some pretty cool stuff. And then if you want to share some deposits, me and Giovanni did the other day. Just for fun. Hell, I got another annuity I'm working on now that's like double this one. All the team call recordings are in here. So as you start recruiting people, my suggestion is make sure not only you're on the calls like this for yourself, but what helped me along the way, I got on my mentor's calls for like, I don't know, I didn't even have a team call for like 5 years or more. It was a long time. And what I learned is even when I knew the information, it was so beneficial to use to help train new agents coming on board. So even if you just get on just to listen, like, how can this information help someone else? That's a good way to continue to like really scale your agency without you having to be the only source of information. So we're going to house all these calls here. Obviously, if I think there's a little overview of them. Everybody has on their little chat bots, so you can. We'll have a history of them all, but they'll all stick here. So if you want to send people back to learn, because we are going to get into some definite sales stuff and sharing stories and things like that as these calls progress. Live dials. I haven't really talked to you guys, Giovanni, about this, but I would like to figure something out with it. You can dial live in here. I know you have your thing. Tyler and a couple others I've sent to a couple buddies to watch them dial. But I do think as we build this thing out, it'd be super beneficial for you guys to kind of find a spot and dial in it. I do want to figure out a way, Reese and Giovanni and Chat GPT, if you're listening, how to figure out how to make it automatically record when something goes live. I know you're using that OBS thing, so I would like to figure that out because we'll use it for content. And remember, along the way for this whole thing, my goal is to not only teach y'all this insurance and sales side for those that really want to build something. We're going to teach you the marketing side of things that I've learned as well, and how I'm going to use this whole platform as kind of a marketing hub as well. What is this? View roll does not. I can hit dismiss there. So we'll have the live dials thing there, and then again, we're gonna add. I'm doing some fitness stuff. Like I've been sharing that shit more and more. So if any of you like are trying to do some stuff and you want to be kind of accountable and share, I'm gonna start putting shit in here. If you want to, great. I know a lot of y'all do some stuff. Tyler's at the gym every 7 minutes when he can be. And I try to keep up with you young cats best I can. So I put in a lot of work, and a lot of people like it, and I like posting about it, being around it. So, and the reason I say that is we are going to open this up to kind of the whole world who gives a shit about anything I have to post. And there's a lot of people in that world that like, we're in separate chats that we're going to add to this thing as well. And then I'll probably end up doing some live stuff in this other one. When I just kind of go on these free webinars and shit like that, I may just dick around and every once in a while just go live in this thing just for fun to help. Again, my goal is going to be to educate you guys and give you information so you can take it and move forward. Anything else I got to cover on that, Giovanni or Reese, or any questions on it? Again, we're going to get you all invites. I don't know who's doing it, but someone on my team will get you the link. They'll probably post it in WhatsApp and all that jazz. But anything else y'all want me to cover on this or any questions? Giovanni, no? Reese?
I think you're good.
Yeah, dope.
We're good. There's a link to join in the chat, by the way.
Oh, already?
Yep.
In the Zoom chat? Dope.
Yeah.
There you go. So join it now if you'd like. Again, we're going to get rid of the WhatsApp one pretty soon. As I mentioned earlier, I don't know what the lead in was, but I mentioned TikTok. One, I think two things. Giovanni, can I share what we taught your glasses, bro?
I don't care.
Do you give a shit? Do you have them right there? Do you have them?
Yeah. Yeah.
Dude, can you make them talk?
I don't know if you can hear it. It's my AirPod. Hold on.
Oh, got it. It's all right. It's all right. So all right. Giovanni, like I talked to a lot of you guys about, like, we're going to share this journey. Obviously, a lot of y'all connected with me because of social. So I want to show the world how to build an agency, and you guys are just obviously get a behind the scenes look and things like that. But I think one of the things that you all as individuals that want to attract other people, and or just want to motivate people. I don't care what level you're at, dude. Someone else would like to be further ahead than they are today. So those of you that want to, what I'd say is one of the biggest lessons I've learned is I didn't put myself out there early enough in terms of the build of this thing, and seeing the amount of good people that it brings into my world today. I wish that I shared everything sooner. And one of my favorite things about Giovanni so far is like, he asks a lot of questions, which I relate to a lot because I'm a curious person. I like to know a lot of shit. But he executes stuff like in 4 seconds. So we had talked about him starting to, and if any of y'all even follow him on social, which I don't know if anyone does, he posts almost zero historically. But he's wanting to build something for real. And so we've been talking about it a lot more. And I'm like, dude, I think you should share the journey. So he goes to, I don't know where, some store, and he buys these glasses that live record like anywhere you are. So those glasses he just threw on, they can record. So whether he's out there knocking on door, and what I noticed on TikTok, I told you I'm kind of on like a life insurance algorithm where I see a lot of people out there and they all post the same boring ass shit. You know what I mean? Like it's nothing. It's none of the real stuff. It's just like, look, I made $2,700 by calling Mary. Ooh, and I spent $4 on the lead. But they don't show the real game. And that shit kind of bothers me. And so I'm like, Giovanni, dude, you should share what it's like out there, like putting in fucking work. Like share the cockroaches and share the fucking dogs that chase you and share the fucking cardboard boxes for fucking front doors and like the real, like what we do for a living, share it. you know? In fact, I think you should share more of the negative shit than the positive shit, quite frankly, because most people have too much of an ego to do it, you know? And this fool don't give a shit about nothing. I mean, he'll openly just share who he is and what he's doing out there. So he's gonna get him and start sharing his door knocks on social. I think he's gonna record some in-home stuff, and no, we're not gonna share people's personal information. But the cool thing we learned, just me and him texting yesterday, the thing like it has AI and it can understand, like if someone's speaking Spanish, it can translate for him into English, like instant. So he was talking to YouTube last night, having YouTube ask a question in Spanish, and I could hear it translate, and then he answered back, and it put it back in Spanish. And I'm like, I can't wait, bro, till you make a sale with the dude who can't speak a lick of English, and you share it. You know what I mean? And it's gonna be in a trailer home somewhere, sitting on a freaking milk crate from 1980, and I can't wait to see it. So I'm excited about that shit. If you want to show that part, it'd be cool, but you don't have to. What I would say too is like, as any of you on TikTok, like follow like people in our space, in our industry. Well, TikTok's really fucking smart, and when you like something, it shows you more of that thing, and it figures out if you want to keep consuming that thing. There's a motherfuck ton of people sharing in the life space on TikTok, and they really have no idea what they're doing. And some of y'all have the nuts enough to reach out to them and recruit them and teach them how to do something for real in the space. So I challenge you to get on there, because I bet no one's doing that. You know, obviously a lot of people recruit on Instagram and things like that, but you get on TikTok, bro. I started liking a couple of them, and I had 50 people pop up in my feed this week that are literally in our space making sales. They understand the business. They understand they got to buy leads. They're willing to put themselves out there. My guess is if you talk to enough of them, you'll find some that are unhappy with where they're at, looking for a little bit more help. So if I were y'all, I'd be digging, because I don't see a lot of people digging there. And I think y'all are smart enough to know what to do with the information when you have it. So let me think. Anything else I want to cover? Any questions at all? Anything I can help anyone with in here at all, in their space, where they're at in the business? Question about sales, question about, I got a couple more notes, but I want to open it up and actually see if anybody has something specific they want to work on. And if not, I have another idea. And or, you know what else it could be? If you learned a fucking lesson this week while you're out there doing what you do, like you messed something up, you did something stupid. And if one of y'all, some of y'all, I know what they are already because I see them. Did you say a motherfuck ton? I did, probably. I say it a lot, I think. I don't know what it means, but it's a big number. I say a lot of things. Hey, you know, you can throw all of your, I can throw my team now. They ask every meeting I do, hey, Reese, what was it? What was the number, the cuss number, bro? Do you remember if you're on here?
I think it wasn't it like 730 for all your travel speeches you've done this year?
730 cuss words. I'm like, God, I got to get better. And one of them is I can actually look up how many times I say a motherfuck ton. So yes. Where's my train of thought? Oh, so any questions about anything you learned, but I would really love a couple of y'all to share like a lesson you learned. I know that, I don't know if Cordell's in here. I know he learned one. I know Jeremy, please, dude. I know there were a few good ones this week that I was like, ooh, they done fucked up there. Hope they don't do that again.
Talking with the guys on the team that like are my core, you know, that we're starting to build around. And I'm guilty of this too. Like I don't post, John. You've known me, you know,
Yeah.
I kind of indirectly for 3 years now.
Yeah.
Directly for like 4 months.
Yeah.
So,
which I would not know you post that little. I would not know we knew each other that long.
Yeah, no, I don't post hardly at all. And that's one of my biggest problems because I'm just old school. I'm like, just put my damn head down and go to work.
Yeah. Yep.
You know, and like, I'm like, okay, I got these people, I got this, blah, 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 blah. And I've always been from a leadership perspective. I'm like, I'd rather be the dude in the background cleaning the toilets and let all my guys take the praise, you know, but that's just me. And I realize I can't be that way if I actually want to grow. And I had to use a guy who I would not, forgive my language, hiss on if he was on fire, because he did me dirty about 2 years ago on a major scale when I was actually trying to really help the guy. And I pointed to my two primary guys on the crew and I said, listen, he has 15,000 followers on Instagram, Snapchat, and TikTok. And this dude is the epitome of a bedazzled helmet wearing short bus riding window licker with how he speaks and how intelligent he is. But he's just not scared to look stupid.
Yeah.
He's just not scared. And they were like, yeah, but he's, so I said, dude, the problem is we think we're too cool for school and we got to be so suave. And no, people just, the reason he connects is because most people are like him.
Yeah.
So I was like, I have to get better at constantly and consistently posting and not just having it be all about sales and all that, which is great, but just basic life reality and things like that. And that's never been me. So that's a massive, massive thing I got to work on, is getting out of my comfort zone when it comes to posting, because I don't want to look dumb, but based on how Kayla just appreciated my analogies, I already know I look like I know I probably,
It can't get worse, bro. Just post.
Yeah, I know. That's what I'm saying. But no, I'm admitting I suck at it,
No, I
and I
agree.
got to get better. And, we still did 55K this last week at team total, and that was with 3 guys out. So I'm just sitting here going, what can happen if I actually get these guys to stop trying to be suave and me to stop caring and actually go after it?
Yeah. I think for me, what I've learned, dude, is like, if you're doing the thing that helps people make money, just share that. You know what I mean? Like, even if you just tied a damn GoPro to your screen right there and showed you work all day and gave it to some VA to make videos, who gives a shit? Just put something out. You know what I mean? For me, it's just
Content.
like, dude, I like people making money. I don't like recording social media. So all this shit I do where I teach people how to make money, I just record it and put it on the internet.
Yeah.
All of my social media is this, me being record almost. Like, Reese has me record 7 minutes of stuff a week, like maybe if I'm doing like an ad or something. But other than that, man,
You're
just
not
put it
wrong.
out there. That's what Giovanni's going to do. He's going to record himself out there making money, making a living in the business, and his shit will stand out. And most people in here won't do it, and they won't copy him, and they will wonder like, damn, and it's okay. You know what I mean? But it's like some people are willing to do above and beyond because they want to build something big. And again, for me, I did it earlier than most. I mean, I've been doing content for a long fucking time, but I still have regrets on how long it took me to get moving, because I don't like social media, but I learned I don't like consuming it. I hate consuming it. I'll consume dumb shit on TikTok for a little while, but consuming general social, I can't do it. But I'm like, oh, I don't have to do that piece. I can not participate in that piece and only participate in the piece of helping people. And that's led me to, quite frankly, everyone in this room, because I didn't actively recruit anyone in here. You know what I mean? It's like I just help people out there make money. And over the years, I've given away so many people that now I'm just going to bring them into this group. And I'm like, instead of giving them to the other side, those of you that are out doing good things and know how to teach people how to make money, I'm going to give other people to you guys because I can't handle them. But I'm going to be actively looking for the ones that are doing it on their own already to the highest level, because I want people to be able to learn lessons. This isn't going to be a charity game. I actually want people to win more than you could ever imagine. But I can't do it alone, and so part of this thing is like, I need y'all's help. And Giovanni saw a way to help, and he literally fucking spent 2,000 times more time building out that Discord than I did by far. And then Reese spent a shitload of time on it too. So, things like that, man, just adding value to the team. I was like sick. And we started talking story time about when I was new and I was doing that for him. He learned some things that he didn't know about me. It was like, holy shit. Like, I have a lot of stories that I'll share with you guys over the years that I've learned doing this business a long time. So, anybody else, anything you fucked up this week and you want to help other people avoid it? And, you don't have to use all the fancy analogies that Jeremy did if you don't want. You can, but you don't have to. It's not required if you're nervous. Is Cordell in here, or is he not in? I know he's not on video, but I can't see if he's actually in here. I want him to share. If not, I'm going to share his for him. Do y'all know what Cordell messed up? Who knows? I know you know, Giovanni, because we text about it, but who else knows? Who's someone new that saw what he did? Go ahead, Anthony. And we're going to be nice.
I think it was the height
This is a
and
learning
weight.
lesson for everybody, right?
Was this the height and weight
Yeah.
case?
Yep. 100%.
Get effing paid.
Get effing paid.
Get effing paid.
Get effing paid.
What up, guys? If you guys are looking to get to a new level in your career, you may have seen that we've been running some workshops in my office in Atlanta. I have them every quarter now. The last one sold out fully. It was a massive success. A couple different levels. You can attend just a general ticket, get you in the door, listen to 2 days of training, interactive, workshop style. We really dive into what you got going on and how to get to new levels. If you're looking to be in a new crowd, higher level up, I have a private mastermind. Last one was at my house. It was insane, all the value that everybody added to each other, and we had a good time. And I heard it was way underpriced relative to what people got out of it. You can check out some of the testimonials here, I'm sure. But if you'd like to attend, click the link below. I do them every quarter. The date will be around here somewhere. Look forward to seeing you there.
If you are in the insurance industry and you're looking to scale and grow your business, I highly encourage you to check John Wetmore out.
Probably honestly made the cost of the event back in like the first 2 hours of being here.
If you want to win and you want to grow, I'd get around John as much as you can.
John Wetmore is a beast.
So much value in everything that I've learned here.
Growing, about building, delegating. He's talking about systems and automating right now.
It is worth the price of admission.
Make sure you get to the next one.
So he had someone that was qualified for, me and Gio were actually talking on the phone when all this was happening, and he asked, I'm pretty well versed with the IULE, and he asked about the height and weight, and I was like, that sounds like it's really close, like a couple pounds close, dude. So I was like, dude, if it's like 2 pounds and you got a decline, I don't know. So I know Forster's has a smart UL that's a lot more lenient. So I looked that up, and when I saw the Forster's max weight, I was like, there's no way. So I looked at mutuals. It's like 2 pounds or no, three or 4 pounds shy of what he was.
So meaning the group saved his ass though, because I think he wrote it. I think he ended up writing
he ended up writing like an AMAM, I think.
But had he not put it in the group, right? So he did mess up, but at least he messed up in the right way, where he was vulnerable enough to share something. But the learning lesson is for him, for those that didn't catch it, he wrote an app, and I don't know the exact number, but the dude was like, I think it was like 5'9", 284, and the build chart allowed 5'9", 282. You know what I mean? And he put someone through, he went through the whole process because he didn't take the time to look up the height and weight chart that every carrier has. And that's some of those like game room film things I'm talking about. Like if you don't know it, dope. I don't know it, but I can pull it up in 3 seconds. You know what I mean? Like I know how to look it up. It's really easy. Height, weight, product, tells you exactly what they can be. You know what I mean? It's like, yo, take your shoes off and let's weigh you again. Or maybe you ride a different carrier. Now, fortunately for him, he posted it in there after the fact. He posted it after his decline instead of looking it up. So my hope is going forward, he has all of the underwriting chart, all the underwriting guides downloaded somewhere he can easily access. We're going to add them to the Discord. There's going to be a spot in there, but I highly suggest you guys start saving them. And again, if you're not making phone calls, you're not allowed to do this while the sun's up. You can, but it's not going to help you. Do this shit tonight at 11 o'clock at night, 6 in the morning if you want it, you know. But I think if you're out there selling, you should have access to the rules. It is the playbook of the game. It's the most important part of your career is learning how to underwrite. And you can make a shit ton of money, and you can also lose a shit ton of money by not understanding it. So he learned a lesson, a little bit of a hard way, but the team saved him. So again, contributing and putting yourself out there can help you in a lot of ways. And my hope is like you all understand there's the importance of those little things. Knowing where to get the information is super important. And the carriers, if it's anything carrier related, dude, they'll train you for 12 hours a day on anything you want if you want them to. They literally have entire divisions and they love to train. They'll overtrain you. So I'm not suggesting you spend all day on the phone with them, but they can give you access to anything and you can download all the shit on their websites as well. Cool. Anybody else? I feel like there was another big one in there I saw. Anybody else have anything? Or anybody else see anybody mess something up that we should keep the heads up on? Go ahead.
I'm gonna call out Anthony actually. So Anthony's bro, he can sell like 20, 30K, right?
Yes,
and he's been doing insurance longer than me. So recently we've been figuring out, because he's been calling me after his in-homes, that instead of like asking questions to build why, he's been kind of telling people. So he's not building why, he's telling people why. And he's been doing insurance for a while, bro. He can sell too. So like, just don't forget to be asking people questions. He was catching it, well, I was catching it for him, realizing like, bro, why are you telling them and not asking them? So like that's been fucking up some of his deals this week recently.
Yeah.
So that's one thing
Dude,
I'll
that's
take this on.
I can remember being at a phase, dude, where I knew how to sell, and I kind of like, you know how you're like, he can sell X amount. You know what I mean? Like when you walk in a room, dude, if you walk in the right room where they know you, everyone's like, Giovanni, yo, bro, he kills it. I almost kind of thought like the clients knew John Wetmore was walking into the house and I was really good at this sale type and they should just hand me everything. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like you let yourself go there sometimes. You know what I'm saying? And you have to remember, it's like hitting off a tee in baseball, bro. Like, you just always have to do the fucking basics. If you just stick to the basics, dude, this industry works really well. And so we all fall into that, dude. And you're going to do it again in different situations too. You know what I mean? Recruiting, get an agent started. Sometimes you're just gonna kind of autopilot. It's easy to do, man. So it's being you want to stay healthy. It's really easy to suck down an entire box of pizza and dip it in ranch along the way. If you don't really fucking pay attention. You know what I mean? Like, it's really easy to mess up. You want to stay in good shape, bro. Watch what you're sipping on. What you got, the little details is what gets you. It's just a little popcorn. It's just a slice of pizza. It was just a cookie. It was just one Chick-fil-A. It was, you know what I mean? Before you know it, bro, you hit 250. I'm like, oh shit. I promise y'all, getting back down's a bitch. I'm going through it now and I'm getting ripped, but it's a complete and total fucking pain in the ass. And so now it's like, all right, don't slip, So same with business, bro.
Could I add something to that?
Yeah, please.
So there's like kind of a realization because Gio, I was even going to bring this up, but I think there's a point where I had to, like, I guess I thought I killed my ego, but like completely revisit it and throw it out the window because I hadn't worked like out on the field. I was working like referrals for a year and a half. So, but working and grinding at the level I was at is completely different. And I didn't realize that much rust would build up. So after every appointment, I would call Gio and I'm kind of like talking through, he's not even saying anything. He's just listening at this point. And I'm answering these questions that he would be normally telling me because I know these answers. But it's like I'm not going through the process. I'm like, dude, I have to break it down to the basics. Just like you said, like I literally have to go back as if I'm a new agent. And it takes a lot of swallowing your pride and killing your ego doing this if you've ever built yourself up to tear yourself back down. But go through and basically get back to the basics. Like I'm a brand new agent. So like it's all about killing your ego and being humble.
When are you going to start running 30 appointments every week?
Oh no, it's starting now.
Is it?
Oh yeah, I'm going. Like I just started like actually dialing again instead of just throwing door knocking routes in. But
hey, is Giovanni going to be able to keep up, or how's it going to work?
Oh, I'm about to give him a run for his money. He didn't even know.
Okay.
Because we never had work.
He called himself out for not running enough this week, which I was glad because I wanted to.
I don't need you to say it, bro. I already fucking know it. That's the first thing I said to myself was, damn, imagine 30 appointments out of 11K. I'll probably do like 15 to 20K.
And this is field sales for those that are confused. They're out in the field still. So yeah, 30 is a nice minimum. If you're on the phones, you should be way above that. But we're gonna start creating leaderboards. I'm gonna do some cool shit. We're gonna do some giveaways. We're gonna do a lot of activity based fun shit that we'll announce. It'll be cool to do. I also thought Tyler and fucking Zach both learned something this week. And if y'all don't remember what you fucked up, I remembered. So, Zach, your face says you remember. Tyler, yours says you forget still. So I'm gonna let Zach go. Do you remember one? At least one? Can you share where you're at, dude? If not, it's all good.
Yeah. Can you guys hear me?
Yep.
Yeah, so I've been using Kixie as my dialer, and I was triple dialing people, and I got to San Diego. My brother's getting into the business and stuff, so he was watching me dial, and I was like, I'm dialing 3 at a time, but somebody would hang up. Like if someone would go straight to voicemail, it would send them all straight to voicemail. So I wasn't actually dialing all 3 of them at a time. So I was really only dialing half of what I thought I was dialing. So yesterday, I think it was Saturday a little bit, yesterday, and then today I started actually dialing one at a time. Like right now I'm
with
working.
your phone.
Say that again?
With your phone.
Yeah, with my phone. And I'm getting way more pickups. And I'm in the middle of closing a deal right now, actually. That's why I was late to the meeting.
Go close it. Appreciate you, dude.
Yeah, it was definitely
crazy, dude.
definitely a
Shivani
fuck up.
and I were talking about. It's like, yo, I've made $500,000 with my cell phone and fucking a pen. Like,
Yeah.
who needs all the stuff? You know?
Definitely.
So good shit. Good old cell phones work better. Imagine that.
Yep. Definitely.
Tyler, you remember yours, dude?
You talking about the New York thing?
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought I found a honey hole on I've been buying leads out of the ILC. So I was like, shit, dude, there's all these leads in New York. I'm gonna get my license, bought a bunch of leads, get a dude on the phone. Him and his wife both wanted a policy and can't fucking sell them. Don't have a carrier. So yeah, I learned that one.
New York's a bitch. You don't even need to know why. Anyone just avoid New York.
Bro, New York
You don't even
fucking
need to
sucks.
know. It does.
I've
You
been
ain't
known
selling in
that
New
since
York.
day one.
Yeah. Nah, he bought $1,000 worth of leads and didn't ask nobody.
Hey, dude, I'm gonna find a way to sell
I'm
them.
like, bro, come on, dude. Like, you know, you can call in advance of the error.
Hey, I learned.
You did. 100%, dude. I remember learning dumb shit like that too. That's why we're going to share it and know it's normal. And what I love though is you guys are willing to go out there and figure this thing out too. You know what I mean? So it's like there's a balance. Keep doing you. You know what I mean? Just use each other as a resource to figure out, smoother ways along the ride. But I'm not saying be afraid to pull the trigger because I like the fucking recklessness of it. And to be honest, there is kind of a way to sort of do it. You can pull off an IUL. It's a pain in the ass, and the comp sucks in New York, even if you get one through. But you lose so much more money trying to squeeze nothing out of that. Like, just it is what it is. Move the fuck on, learning lesson, and go make $1,000. You probably already did. I'm from calling something else. What'd you sell this week? Like $7,000?
Yeah, I should have 7K.
Cool.
One's still pending. But
What'd you end at, Anthony? I don't remember yours.
I was at like 6. I just kissed 6.
Cool.
Yeah. It's not...
Zach, you sell any this week, bro?
I didn't this week. I didn't really start dialing until the end of the week. Yeah.
All right.
But I got something cooking right now, so.
Cool. Anybody else selling here? Anybody else sell anything? That's on. I know some. I know Kyla sold a bunch. She was over $5,000. I don't remember what her number was, but I remember seeing over 5 at least once. Sherry sells like a machine. 7? Hell yeah. Good work, girl.
Yeah. And a lot of fuck ups.
Yeah. Give us one thing you learned out there this week.
Oh gosh, Gio will know. So I was sitting in a house and I let her demeanor kind of throw me off and set the scene for it to be super transactional in a rate beat when I knew I should have just gone back to the basics and built why with her. And then I fucked up again and didn't call anybody.
Got it. Huh?
So that one was tough. And then I think the lesson learned, or like 2 of them there, is for one, call whether you think you can't do anything about it. And then the second one is I had a bunch of more appointments that day. And I think Gio was like, dude, you sound like sad about this. Like, move on. Yeah. It's a new house, new door, start over. That's my 2 tips for everyone.
I love it. It's the biggest part of this game.
Yep.
Is next one. It's hard. It builds like calluses on your hands. It's kind of the same thing. Like you build a little bit of a callus on the inside to really give a shit about feelings sometimes in the moment, but it takes it. So keep at it. You're doing well. Just don't slow down. Don't slow down and don't go bet it all on black. Other than that, keep killing it.
Hey, one last thing, because she probably won't say anything, but I know it makes her mad. Her name is Kyla, not Kayla. Just everybody says Kayla, not Kyla. Just letting you know to say it Kyla for future reference. Kyla.
My man. And she won't say nothing, huh?
No.
She responds to whatever you want to call her. If you have something good to say, just send it my way. I'll listen.
Call her Kay. What up, Kay?
Yeah, that's perfect. Whatever you want.
Dig it. Cool. Anybody else have any questions or anything I can help with?
Yeah, I got one.
Let's see. Go ahead.
It's more for like new agents or agents wanting to write more. Do you have a, because I know what I have, but do you have a suggested lead by amount for new agents who can spend money or agents who want to write more like 20, 30K a month? Did you like what do you have that you suggest for people?
So I always take concepts, right? And I like people to make decisions on shit. Funny, Tyler and I talked about this a little bit this weekend, kind of similar conversation that relates to this a little bit. I think it depends on like, some of it depends on how much they believe in themselves. You know what I mean? That's a piece of it, you know? So I think that what I do know from a concept standpoint is if someone that's new doesn't buy enough leads, they won't have the ability to work full time. Does that make sense? Like it'll literally be impossible to work full time doing this if you don't have a shitload of leads. Now, what's a shitload? You ain't doing it with 50. That ain't going to get you full time dials. Fair? Right? It's hundreds. Now, do they buy hundreds of leads every week? Nah, they got inventory. You know what I mean? They build up over time. They keep up with people that tell them to fuck off, and they don't. You know what I mean? Giovanni's rule, one of my favorite all time rules. You got to tell me no twice. You're telling me no on the phone and face to face before I stop calling you personally at a minimum. You know, I did that with every lead as long as I needed to. So, you know, in concept, dude, if you don't have the money to put into this to spend 40 hours prospecting, you probably should have a job also. Does it make sense? So it kind of depends who you're dealing with, dude. If they don't want a job and they don't want to put money in, I have a hard time working with that person in general. You know what I mean? So I just struggle there. And then it becomes a time or money thing. You know, your willingness, it's like, all right, now you got time or money. And if you're not willing to spend the money, now you have to spend more time. It's just part of the game. It's part of the formula. You know what I mean? Like there's pros and cons to all of them. But so it's like, all right, do you want to spend a shitload of time prospecting, calling the same people over and over again? Are you willing to door knock? Are you willing to cold door knock? Will you knock on the neighbor's doors? You know what I mean? Like, are you willing to do that kind of work because you have no budget? Or do you have no budget and you only want to sit at home and call the nice, kind people who say yes to you? Because to me, it's going to be a different strategy. You know, then you have like some people who are willing to invest in new leads. And this is where Tyler fell into. It's like he's willing to invest in new leads. But one thing, new leads don't make you good. So if you suck, you're going to suck with new leads and it's going to be an expensive learning curve. So are you willing to go through that expensive learning curve? I think it shortens it because you're dealing with less bullshit along the way. The lower your budget, the more you got to eat shit to get through the learning curve. Fair? You know, like you're going to eat way more shit with a low budget. And so they have to have a willingness for that, or the plan I give them doesn't matter. Gio, does that make sense? Right? So then you got the guy that's willing to spend some money and they're like, nah, I don't want to do that. Tyler, I don't want to call them old fucking things. Bro, neither do I. But if I only spend now $1,000 a week or $1,500 a week, does he really have the lead flow at, you know, $20-$30 a lead, whatever the cost is, depending on the product, you know what I mean, what you're getting? Like, dude, you're going to get 5 a day, 7 a day, 8 a day. Like, all right, what the fuck you going to do all day? You can't work 8 people all day. Does it make sense? It's not a viable solution to stay busy. So I'm like, yo, you either need to combine them, get some new flow coming in, cool, buy some old inventory also, or you overspend and you front load the shit out of your lead spend because you know you're going to spend the money over the course of the next few weeks or months anyway, right? But if I front load the shit out of the front end, right, Giovanni? I put a shit ton more money than I should have to on a regular basis. Now I have instant inventory. Or maybe I have 30 a day coming in instead of 7 that I can then turn down in 2 weeks. You know what I mean? And so for me, it's more about who are they and what are they willing to do? You know, for those that don't know, Giovanni, he'd let his rent fucking bounce to be able to buy leads. And he definitely shares the pictures of it all. You know, hell, his payments to lead, all kinds of stuff he was sending me just kept bouncing a couple years ago. But that's what got him out of the hole. So my ideal lead plan, bro, is multiple lead types and multiple lead vendors. That's the ideal situation for me. because if one goes sideways, it can never hurt me if I have multiple. If I only sell final expense, I don't know, dude. For me, I wanted to mix the day up a little bit. I like throwing in mortgage protection too. You know what I mean? If you're new and you want to stick to one thing, it makes sense. But with time, dude, I wanted so many appointments a day. Give me 8, 10, 12 appointments a day. To do that, I had to run both. You know? So, and then for me, if I'm going to do one thing, why not have multiple vendors that do the same thing? So when I was doing direct mail, dude, I'd have 3 direct mail drops in the same county. And I'd get the same lead multiple times. To me, that was a home run. I'm like, yo, they filled it out 3 times. They must really want insurance. And it didn't go to someone else. I'll fucking take 3. I'll take duplicates. You know, so the ideal way, there's no argument. The ideal way to run the business is to have, quote unquote, too many new leads coming in. That's ideal. Because now your back's against the wall. You're going to call them more aggressively. You're going to work more often. And the money comes in faster because you're seeing people faster. So big chunks come in fast, especially early when you're only getting the front end money. And you ain't like you're getting back end money now, sure, but most people don't. You know what I mean? So when you only get that 75% advance and chargebacks, like the quicker you can get the cash coming in, the quicker you can then get on some kind of groove and understand your pace. And then you can slow down a little bit on the lead spend and then get it more consistent. And then you have piled up inventory. And then you just get to kind of shift it up and down in little increments at a time. Instead of what most people do is, they go, I got $600. And they buy as many as they can aged piece of shit leads, which work. You can sell a shitload of money on them. But then when they get the money in, they pay all the bills. And then whatever they got left over, little crumbs, they try to limp in with leads again. And that's a brutal way to run the business. You know, so for me, it's more about giving foresight into how to play the game the right way as well than just the lead type to buy today. Because again, if you manage the revenue from it like shit, the lead type don't matter. The business is still going to suck. Fair, you know what I mean? Like if you don't figure out the lead flow game, that's the real game. You know, and again, for me, I'd rather have too many leads and take the cream off the top, book the relatively easy appointment. Because you call 10 leads, you get 10 people on the phone, they're going to fall into different categories. You're going to get 2 or 3 who are going to be easy as shit to book. You're going to get 2 or 3 that were a complete pain in the ass, and you're going to get 2 or 3 that ain't booking no matter what you say. You know what I mean? So if that's the case, I know every 10 I get 2 or 3 easy ones. Why don't I just take 30 and get 9 easy ones? And who gives a shit about the others? Maybe I book them, maybe I don't, but I can make the money back faster. You know, the ROI takes a long time when you're limping in. It's a slow, painful journey. And any of those of y'all that have been on it, it's a grind. It's necessary a lot of times, especially for new agents. But for me, I want to teach them how to not stay in that grind because that's what makes the business brutal. You know, so I'm just really honest about it. Can you limp in? Yeah, but who the fuck wants to stay on that hamster wheel? It sucks. I did it far too long. So I'd rather just be super upfront about it. So as we're bringing people in, start having those conversations, Giovanni, see where their head's at. And if you can paint the picture too with it, it's much less emotional along the way. You know what I mean? I'm like, can it get any worse than the way I just explained it when they're going through it? Like, is there anything that ain't gonna, you know what I mean? It's all gonna happen. I'm like, I told you that's how it's gonna play out, bro. You chose that path. I gave you another path. You just chose not to put the money. I didn't have the money. Well, that ain't my fucking fault. What do you want me to do? So you can't do the other path. It seems weird that you're upset about this one. You know what I mean? When it's the only one you got, it's weird to be mad at it. You know? So it's like I give people options, man, in some kind of sense versus just here it is. That help?
Yeah, I mean that's kind of what I did with Kyla. Like her last week, I made her spend like $2,000, then it evened out, and she's written like almost $20,000 in 2 weeks.
Yeah,
so
I mean, it's a no-brainer, dude. Yeah, it's a no-brainer to play it that way. And again, can everyone play it that way? No. But if they know the game, you know what I mean? It's like, all right, we'll play it. You know, and get out of it quick if you don't like it. I didn't like it, so I got out of that shit quick. And I never messed that game up again. You know what I mean? I see people get it right and then mess it up and have to go back to the old way. That's even more brutal. When you get to be able to book them quick and book them easy because you got enough new ones coming in, and then you fuck up your money, and then you have to go back to the old shit. Oh God, that's excruciating. You know. But again, when you're brand new, it ain't magic. I promise you, the new leads don't make it easy to book. You still gotta be willing to learn some shit. So good stuff, dude. Anybody else got anything?
Hey, John, I have a question.
Yep.
I just watched one of your videos where you said that basically you like what Gary Jeter said about every time he's looking for fastball down the middle. So my question to you is that are there specific policies or carriers that you're going to sort of sell those more often to either final expense or mortgage protection so you could sort of focus on all, what's good about those policies and get
the ones we gave you are the most common. You know what I mean? Like there's plenty more carriers. We just don't open them up to new agents because it'll cover 95+% of the shit you're going to run across and even know about. You know what I mean? And what I've learned is that makes it more profitable for you in the short run because you aren't overthinking all the other stuff that's out there. That covers just rare, once in a blue moon type cases. You know what I mean? For the most part, the core we gave you, 4 or 5 of them, that'll cover most things. So, certainly study them along the way. Merico has like a little new agent training hub. Moo has, they'll all train you till you're blue in the fucking face. But at the same time, like there's tools and resources. So when you don't know it, you can rely on the tools. You know what I mean? But there's only as good as the information you put in and the questions you ask. So it's like part of the journey is learning how to ask health questions so you get all the real information. Part of it, but you're gonna fuck it up a bunch before you understand that. Like, and there's no way for us to teach you that in advance. We can say it, we can tell you, but you're not gonna understand it till you go through it and fall into the trap of them lying enough times where you'll be like, here's how you get it. But yeah, dude, keep it simple at the beginning, right? The basics. You're not harming anybody if they have insurance. Is it going to be the perfect scenario every time when you're new? Nah. But, that's what we do regular reviews with clients for, and you do follow-ups, and you go back and you see them, and you take care of your clients. If something better comes out along the way, the more you learn them, great. You can always add or rewrite them down the road too. So keep it simple early. And, make sure you're using the process. That Life Center thing will be dope. It walks you right through. You put in the med, you put in the health stuff. It tells you exactly what the prices are, all that. And again, I think far too many people use those tools or insurance toolkits and they don't learn it also, which all good. But again, that's a path. You know what I mean? Like, why was Tom Brady so good? Bro, he knew everything about everything. And it's funny. It's so, learn it as you go, dude. But it shouldn't take you 90 days. You know what I mean? But you're also not going to know it this week. So somewhere in the middle, bro. Help? That help you?
Yes, it did. Thank you.
Cool. All right, dig it. Anything else? Nothing. Anything else I was supposed to give him, Reese? Or I don't think Amanda came on. She only tells me if I forget shit. I don't think I had anything else. There you go. He said join the group. Discord group, join it. We'll put together leaderboard stuff this week, and y'all keep killing it. My goal would be to go for you guys. If I were you, knowing what I know today, it's like really figure out what it is you want, like really, and then what it is you're willing to do to go get there, and then just go fucking get it. And you're going to have distractions and noise along the way, and you're going to have to, again, make decisions every minute of every day. Do you let those distractions slow you down from the shit you just said a little while ago? Or do you plow through it and go get what you want? That's the reality of everything we want in life. So make this week like when you're chasing something significant for yourself. Put some kind of number out there, put something out there for yourself and go fucking get it. And you'd be surprised what you can pull off if you really go after the things you want. So let me know if I can help in any way. We'll do it again next week. And I'll see you guys in the Discord chat. If you have any questions along the way, let me know. Appreciate y'all.
Appreciate it.